Welcome to online video lecture. In this video, we will discuss about the concept of packet switching in the communication networks. So actually, switching is the process of forwarding the packets coming from one port to another port towards the destination. So consider this diagram. So this is the many devices are connected in this networks. So this type of larger networks, there may be more than one path for transmitting the data from sender to receiver, so that there are many paths are available in between the source and destination. So here switching helps to select the one path that is a suitable path in between the sender and receiver among the different paths. So this is also known as switching. So basically, there are two popular techniques are used in the switching. The popular techniques are two types. First one is circuit switching. Second one is packet switching. So circuit switching is the older one. So nowadays, some of the applications uses the circuit switching also. Even today also, they can use some applications uses the circuit switching. So first we will discuss about the circuit switching, then we go for packet switching. So circuit switching is nothing but it has the dedicated path in between the sender and receiver for data transmission. Circuit switching, just to keep in your mind, circuit switching is nothing but it has the dedicated path to transfer the data from sender to receiver. But the data may be audio or video or text. Text means messages or any other type of information. So to transfer that data, we have to make a call request signal is sent to the receiver. First we have to send the call request signal to the receiver and acknowledge it back to ensure the availability of dedicated path. This dedicated path is then used to send the data. So in the process of circuit switching, first step we have to request the connection setup in between the sender and transmitter, and then receiver acknowledges there is the transmission path is free, so that we can transmit the data from transmitter to sender. So the advantage of circuit switching is once the path is established in between the sender and receiver, there is no distortions in the data transmissions. The only delay is setup delay. So here dedicated path established in between the sender and transmitter, there is no problem of traffic or congestion in the data transmission. So circuit switching also has some disadvantages. The disadvantages are to set up the initial connection in between the sender and receiver, it takes some time. There is a longer setup time required to establish the connection between the sender and receiver. If suppose the dedicated path or channel is busy in between the sender and receiver, we have to wait some time until the channel or dedicated path becomes free to make the connection between the sender and receiver. And second one is, we have to request the token to the receiver and then acknowledge it before any transmission can happen. The receiver also acknowledges the request signal to make the data transmissions. Similarly here, line dedicated connection creates the busy setup in between the sender and receiver, so that we have to wait for some time to make the another transmission in between the sender and receiver until the busy line becomes free. So the best example for circuit switching is analog telephone networks. So in the telephone networks, we have to communicate the voice signal or voice data from sender to receiver. So already we know that. So to make the connection between the transmitter and sender, that is the dialer requires the telephone networks to make the connection towards the receiver. That is the receiver request signal. After receiving the request signal by the networks, it makes the dedicated connection in between the transmitter and receiver. So after that, we can transmit the data, that is our voice, simultaneously in both directions. That is from sender to receiver or receiver to sender. So even analog landline telephones and also our mobile voice communications use this type of circuit switching networks. Circuit switching networks. And come to the packet switching. So already we have discussed circuit switching has some drawbacks. That is, the major drawback is it needs a dedicated line for the data transmission. So the packet switching helps us to overcome the problem of circuit switching. Packet switching is the connectionless networks switching techniques. So it does not need any dedicated path between the transmitter and receiver. So it is called as a connectionless networks. So here the message, that is a transmitted message, is divided into many parts and again grouped into number of units. This process is called as a packetizing packets. Then it is individually routed from source to destination. For example, if one message is divided into 10 small pieces, that is small packets, 10 packets broken into 10 packets. This all the 10 packets are transmitted over the networks by individually. So each packet can take different paths to reach the destination. That is the meaning. So each packet travels individually or independently. So in circuit switching, there is no need to establish a dedicated circuit for communication. So while transmitting the data, the switching information is added in the header of each packet and transmitted independently. So another advantage of packet switching is it is easier to intermediate networking devices to store the small size packet, and they do not take much resources, too much resources, either or carrier path, that is transmission path. So it reduces the memory of switches, internal memory of the switches. then the process has to be done in case of packet switching. So each packet has two main parts. First part is payload, second part is header. Actually, this payload is nothing but our transmitted original message or data. So this, consider this diagram. In this diagram, uh, this data is the payload, original message, and the header. These are the header attached to the data. This header contains the addressing information of the packet. So where the packets to be reached, similarly, where packets comes from the source. So header contains the source address and also destination address. This header information is used by the intermediate routers to direct towards its destination, depending upon the address contained in the header. The payload carries the actual data you have sent. A packet is transmitted as soon as if it is available in a node based upon header information. The packets of messages are not routed via the same path. Already I told that. Because each packet takes the different paths to reach the destination. So it is the responsibility of receiver to reorder the packet in order to retrieve the original message. So the path, the traveling path may be different for each packet, but it should be once again rearranged in the original transmitted order, so that we can retrieve the original message of the transmitter. So this is done by the receiver side. This is done at receiver side. So this process is diagrammatically explained in the next slide. So here we have to go for next slide. So this diagram explains how the data sent from sender to receiver. So here the message, original message, broken into four packets. All these packets are transmitted over the network. So each packet takes the different paths to reach the destination. For example, packet A takes this direction. Similarly, packet B takes this direction, packet B. So similarly, packet C takes this direction to reach the destination. Similarly, packets D takes this direction to reach the destination. So each packet takes the different paths to reach the destination. So at receiver side, the packet A may be later than the packet B. Similarly, the packet D may be later than the packet C. So this, each packet arrived at different times. So it is the responsibility of receiver to rearrange the packets in the original order. So in the packet switching methods, there are two popular routing approaches. First approach is datagram approach, and then second approach is virtual circuit approach. Datagram packet switching is routed independently through the networks. That is, each packet carries the different paths to reach the destinations. Just to look at this diagram. Packet 1 takes this direction, packet 2 takes these directions. So datagram approach is similar to the techniques used in the packet switching. In case of virtual circuit, it has some connection in between the sender and receiver. It is almost similar to circuit switching. We have seen in the first topic, that is the circuit switching. Virtual circuit is similar to that. It is not exactly same, just it is similar to that. So in datagram packet switching, while routing the packet, the destination addresses in the header are examined to determine the next hop in the path to destination. So depending upon the header information, the packets are tried to reach the destination. If the required line is busy, then the packet is placed in the queue until the line becomes free. Packet shares the transmission line with the other packets, then it delivered to the destination. That is the here, the transmission path is shared by the another packets come from the different networks. That is the here, transmission path is common for all packets. So the here some drawbacks in the datagram networks, that is packet switching networks. So each packet takes the independent path so that it needs to be updated. This is the first drawback. The second one is packets take different paths for travel, may leads to arrive out of order. Sometimes there is the chances the receiver may fail to arrange the received packets. So this needs the resequencing of received packets. So these are the main two drawbacks of datagram packet switching. Then come to virtual packet switching. In virtual circuit packet switching is fixed path between the source and destination is established prior to the transfer of data packets. So just look at this diagram. So here first the dedicated path is created in between the source and destination. After establishing this path, data transfer takes place. So virtual circuit packet switching is the connection-oriented networks. But the datagram switching is connectionless network. This is the connection-oriented networks because it depends upon the connection. So it is similar to the telephone systems. Already I told that. The connection is established is not a dedicated path between the station. The path is generally shared by the another virtual connections. So it is slightly different from the original circuit switching networks. So actually there are three main phases in the virtual circuit switching networks. The three main phases are establishment phase, data transfer phase, connection release phase. So in the data transfer between the sender and receiver, first phase is establishment phase. So during the establishment phase, setup of logical connection between the two users to set up the connection between them. After this, the sequence of packetized informations are transmitted bidirectionally between the two nodes, that is the sender and receiver. the information is delivered to the receiver is same order as transmitted by the sender. So this phase is establishment phase. Then second, data transfer phase. During this phase, during this phase, it performs flow control and error control services. The error control service ensures that correct sequencing of packets and correct arrival of packets at the receiver. So this is the error control. Then flow control service ensures that to slow down the receiver to handle the speed of the packet, data speed of the packet. For example, if the receiver is handle only 100 Mbps per second speed only, data rate of the receiver, and also transmitter can be able to send the 1000 Mbps per second data, but the receiver cannot handle the high speed, that is the original speed of the transmitter, that is 1000 Mbps per second. So here the data, the receiver is makes the request to the transmitter to slow down the data rate, because the receiver capability is only up to 100 Mbps per second. So that the transmitter, after receiving the request from the receiver, the transmitter is reduces the data rate. So this is the flow control. So in the data transfer phase, there are two main processes takes place. First one is error control and then flow control. Then last third phase is connection release phase. So during this phase, when receiver or transmitter wants to close the virtual circuit, it can terminate the connection with the clear request packet. It makes the request of clear signal to clear the packets. So this is the connection release phase. So the advantages of packet switching. What are the advantages of the virtual circuit packet switching, sir? Packets are delivered in order since they all take the same route. That is, it is different from the datagram approach. Because in the datagram, all the packets are takes the different paths to reach the destination. But here only one path to reach the destination. So all the packets are arrived in the order manner. Then the overhead of the packet is smaller because it need not to update every time, because the path is same path for all packets. So that the overhead of the packet is smaller. So there is no need to update the path details. So these are all the main concepts of packet switching in the computer networks. Thank you.